Gents, this topic has been plaguing my mind for months now, and I believe it needs to be addressed for our brothers' well-being when dealing with women. To be honest, I want the best for you guys because I know what it feels like to get used and abused by a modern woman and how you watch as your life slowly falls apart overnight. And the worst part was you had the best intentions for the other person, and they still stabbed you in the back and wrecked your life for their own selfishness. Brothers, I know, don't believe for a second that I still don't remember the pain my ex put me through and how hundreds of millions of men around the world have gone through far worse than I have, to the point of some of our good men choosing to opt out of life because the pain was too much. Gents, trust me, I understand. This is why I think this video is necessary. I believe it will be a win if I can keep one man from getting finessed. Now you guys must be wondering what the hell I'm talking about. Well, let's put it this way. Based on the comments I've read in our community and the countless videos I've watched on the topic, some men believe that going abroad to date, especially outside of the West, is better than dating women in their countries. Yes guys, today we will be taking shots at our passport gang who are going to countries like Thailand and Eastern Europe to look for love and a loyal, submissive wife. Oh boy, we're diving in on you brothers today and revealing the truth of why doing that is not such a good idea based on personal experience. And I don't want you guys to think that I'm literally calling you guys out or dissing you. That's not what I'm doing. I'm going to give you the perspective that many men in the West won't see because you've never lived in a third world country. So buckle up your seatbelts and let's drop the knowledge on you guys so you can make better decisions when you go abroad looking for a wife. First, we must acknowledge this point is the foundation of the video, or this topic will have no leg to stand on. And that is the fact that female nature is universal no matter where on the planet you decide to go. The women will act similarly to some degree. The same applies to men. I have never seen a man be attracted to a woman's degree over how good she looks regardless of where in the world he lives. So I don't want anybody automatically disagreeing because you went somewhere and the women were feminine, cooperative, and submissive. There is a reason for that, which I will get into shortly. But as I said, female nature is universal regardless of that woman's country, race, culture, and upbringing. If you don't believe me, you can watch Strong Successful Male on YouTube, and the stories from men and women worldwide will prove this point without fail. So don't think that many of the things you see American women doing are the worst of the worst. In every country, some women get away with finessing men based on the laws that allow them to do so or how vindictive she is, so never forget that. Now that we have set up the foundation of this topic, let me dispel the myths that some of you guys have about dating women abroad. There is a channel on YouTube that is called Zoom to Thailand, and the creator of the channel is a chocolated-skinned Bratha who went over to Thailand and got himself a stunning Thai girl who, based on what I've seen on camera and what he said, is loyal, submissive, cooperative, and nothing like women in the West. I was floored when I first got introduced to his channel and clicked on one of his videos. The treatment that this guy was getting from his Thai girlfriend, I swear to God, I never saw in my entire life. This guy was getting his fingernails and his toenails clipped. She washed, cooked, and cleaned for him without complaining. She was quiet and not loud and argumentative. She was genuinely interested in his hobbies and what he likes, and she made his house a home. Now I'd never seen those things in my entire life, and to be honest, a small part of me started to get weak ma Brathas. Yes guys, I was thinking of going to Thailand and returning back to the plantation. Hey, don't come at me with your pitchforks and torches. I got weak in the heart because I've never seen a man, a black man, get treated so well by a woman. Your boy nearly went back to simping, and if it wasn't for my teacher, Coach Greg Adams, the author of the book The Free Agent Lifestyle, I wouldn't have been able to see what was really going on. So Coach said on one of his live streams that men oftentimes get tricked by how well the women in these other countries treat them, not knowing these women view men from rich countries as a high-value target. I know that one probably flew over your head, so let me break it down further, so you guys understand why you get treated so well. The thing is, gents, the women in countries like Thailand and Eastern Europe come from places of extreme poverty, and some from war-torn areas that make it hard for people to survive and live a good quality of life. The men who live there are also in the same situation as the women, so they cannot provide the life and lifestyle that a man from Canada, the UK, and America can provide. The exchange rate alone puts you in the top 10 to 1% of people living in that country. So what will happen is when that woman sees a man from a first world country and a fat juicy steak falls on her plate when before she had rice and beans, do you really think most of these women will be dumb enough to let you, Mr. Fat Juicy Steak, slip from under her when you can be her ticket out of poverty or whatever situation she's in? Think, gents, think. If it wasn't for Coach, I would have let the good treatment that I saw cloud my judgment without actually seeing what was really going on. And I have no problem with channels like Zoom to Thailand that promote the possibility of dating women from Thailand and countries where the women are more feminine and cooperative. I just want you guys to know that the only reason why some, if not most of you, are treated like God over there is that you are seen as a big fish on their line, and they don't want you to get away and go to another woman. It's similar to mate guarding where in her mind, if I throw that stank on him, flood him with sex and treat him well, he is less likely to go look and see if there are better women besides me, and maybe I can trap his goofy butt. It's all a game, fellas, and manipulation is written all over it. And if you doubt what I just said and believe I'm speaking crap, I want you to look at how the women treat their men over there, especially the men who are not economically attractive, and tell me who gets the better treatment. If these women treat their local men who aren't rich as good as how they treat you, Mr. High Value Target, then I would say maybe these women are actually being authentic and you're not going to be finessed. But this is women we're talking about, and hypergamy is undefeated, so if you really believe she wouldn't treat you well just to get that green card or that rich lifestyle that your first world currency can provide. Let's say I was talking foolishness and the women in countries similar to Thailand are just good as sugar and spice and everything nice, and I'm just bitter and hurt. Then explain to me why when men bring these women over to the West, they end up switching on these men and divorce grape them to kingdom come. Please explain why this happens then. I'm telling you guys, don't be fooled because I have personal stories of women who are purposefully looking to get men living in these countries for the green card, my G. You know what? I can't wait any longer. It's effing story time for the men who are going to say I'm talking crap, and that's not true. Before I drop the story on your heads, I want you guys to be careful with this situation. A lot of the women that you guys go abroad looking for love either have a boyfriend or she's currently married. And sometimes, the husband allows his woman to get ravished by you so they can live off your hard-earned money. Oh, you guys don't want to talk about that. In some countries like Thailand, you cannot legally get divorced, so some of the women you guys are messing with over there are still married, but she's just separated from their husbands. You guys need to know these things before thinking that going overseas means you'll get a better deal. You'll usually get a former prostitute, hooker, sugar baby, prawn actress, scripper, grape victim, and the list goes on and on. But you don't live over there, so you'll never get all these vital details unless somebody there tells you about that woman's past. Do you guys get it? Good story time to prove I'm not wrong. The title of this story is I Want to Leave My Baby Father for an American Man. Let's dive into it. Dear Pastor, I am 40 years old and I have 4 children. I am very unhappy. My children's father and I have been living together for 15 years. He was very cruel to me, but I did not want to leave my children because 3 of them are girls, so I stayed with him. Gents, look at this BS, and I want you guys to understand that XXs will lie square in your face for you to sympathize with them. So whatever other atrocious things she decides to do will be justified. Guys, you're telling me that this man was cruel to her, and what she probably meant was that he was abusive, and she stayed up under him for 15 years. Also, she let this cruel man bust up in her guts and impregnates her 3 times. What I have to say to that is F off. I don't believe that one bit, but that's how they manipulate you to feel sorry for them. She's not getting any sympathy from me though. Let's continue. A few years ago, I met a man and fell in love with him. My sister introduced him to me and told him all the hard times I was going through with my children's father. He went back to America and started sending me money. But before he left, I must tell you the truth, he was the only man apart from my children's father who I allowed to see me naked. Guys, you can't make this ish up, and some of you will actually take this deal. I don't even know what to say. Let's continue. This man sent barrels of everything a woman would want for her children, including shirts for the children's father. My sister, who was abroad, pretended that these things came from her. This half-white man returned to Jamaica just for a weekend, and I found time to go to be with him at a particular place in New Kingston. He wants to marry me. I don't know what to do because I need his help. Father God, forgive them, for they know not what they do. This guy even bought clothes for the alleged cruel baby father. This story has to be fake, and the sister is conspiring against the baby father and enabling her to cheat for a better opportunity. You guys still think you want to go abroad and find yourself a wife. Hypergamy is undefeated. When will you guys learn? All of what I said above is basically in this story, so I don't want you guys to doubt my judgment on this one. Anyways, let's continue. My sister said that she knows him well and he is not a poor man. He was married, but the marriage did not work. I don't find any faults in him. I felt guilty for taking money from him, but I need money to take care of myself. I have been with my children's father for a long time, and the most I have ever got from him is 10,000 Jamaican dollars to go to the supermarket. This other man bought me cosmetics, beautiful underwear for my girls, and gave me 350 United States dollars. I told my sister what he had given me, and she asked me, "What more do you want?" I plan to leave my children's father and secretly marry this other man in December. I don't want anybody to know apart from my sister. How can I go about marrying this man? The Gents and Coach Greg Adams are undefeated. What more proof do you guys want? Because I can pull up a lot more stories just like this one if you like. This is what they do, and they see you as a big juicy steak that can change their lives. She is going to blow up her family for what seems like the greener pasture. How selfish can these XXs get? So you guys have to understand what you guys are getting into. And I don't want to hear that only Jamaican women do these things because, back to what I said in the beginning, female nature is universal regardless of culture and country. So what are your options to deal with this? Well, always assume that the women in these countries like Thailand are treating you so well because of an ulterior motive and not because she loves you. Once you understand that, you won't be clouded by her manipulative tactics and constant segs. Next is to live the free agent lifestyle and do not get in a relationship with these women or even think about marriage. If you literally stay a free agent, most of the BS won't affect you because you won't commit. If you just have to find your girl and go into a relationship, leave her butt right in her country and do not bring her to the West. Besides that, you can go over there and reside. Just understand that you better be making the same if not more money as in your home country. If you decide to bring your exotic girlfriend to the West, in no time, she'll probably become a blue-haired womanist riding the CC after the women and society then corrupted her. And when she finds out you're worth more divorced than married, it's game over. Just chalk up that L and remember I told you what would happen, and you didn't listen. Besides that, have fun when you go abroad to travel. Ensure you're protected from getting clapped or robbed, and wear a rubber so you don't catch an itchy scratchy, or you can take the risk. The choice is yours. My G, tap the thumbs up button if you agree with the message, and if you disagree and think I'm wrong, please let me know in the comment section below why I'm wrong. And if you subscribe and comment that you subbed, I will personally reply to your comment. I have some other projects I'm working on for you guys, so it might take some time for me to get to your comment. And remember, gents, she's only treating you well for that green card.